Okay, so you have done the first step, which is solving the centers of the 4x4, and you have done the second step, which is pairing up all the edges. So the next step is going to be fairly easy. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and solve this just like you would on a normal 3x3. So I'm going to put white on top, and I'm going to form my cross. You can move the top, the right, the left, the down, anything you want, and it's not going to mess up anything that you have made as long as you do not move 2 layers at a time or move any inside layers. Okay, you want to make sure that you're not moving any of those so you don't mess up anything you've already done. So I'm going to go ahead and solve the cross, and I can see there's a white and green. I've lined it up on itself and I rotate it up. There's my first edge right there solved. Here's my other one, and here's another one. This is a pretty easy case, and then my last one, and I can do the same algorithm I would use on a 3x3. I can do front inverted, up, left inverted, and then up inverted, or whatever you happen to use when you're solving the 3x3. So there is my white cross. Then I'm going to put in the corner pieces. You can use F2L on this. You can use whatever method you happen to use. So I'm going to go ahead and do the corners, I guess beginner style, and I'm going to line it up under the correct color and put my corner pieces in there. There's my corner, and I got lucky on the middle piece. It happened to already go in there. And where's my other corner piece. There, it's into place. Any shortcuts that you use on the 3x3 will work on the 4x4. So I've placed 3 of the corners, and here's my last one. So I'm going to place this last one in, and I've solved one full side of the 4x4. So there's my first side, and same thing, I got my T's there. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing that we would on a 3x3. So I'm going to find pieces that do not have yellow in them, like this right here. It's the green and red, and we're going to go ahead. This one is going to go to the left, so I'm going to do the same algorithm I would on the normal 3x3 to put this into place. There we go. And I don't see any of them that are not yellow, so I have to go ahead and pull out one of my middle pairs. Now before you start this, you want to make sure that all your edges are definitely paired up. You're not going to put any white cross or put any corner pieces into place until all of your edges are completely paired up. Okay, so this is going to be my last middle piece right here, and as you can see, I have the first, I guess that's the first 3 layers completely solved. Then we're going to move on to the next step, which is the same as the 3x3, is we're going to solve for the yellow cross. And so I have the line right here, and I'm going to do the same movements that I would on a normal Rubik's Cube, and this is going to get me my yellow cross. Now there are some problems you can run into when you're doing the 4x4 that you would not run into on the 3x3. So one of them is going to be a parity problem when you're forming your yellow cross. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like, and let me go ahead and make that problem on this cube here. And you'll get this 50% of the time it'll happen, and then 50% of the time you won't have this problem. Okay, so here's a problem. On a normal 3x3, the only things you're gonna see is you're gonna see either the L, you may see the line, or you may see, here's the line right there, or you may see just the dot. On a 4x4, you can see the dot, the line, the L. You can also have problems where you only have one yellow side in position, or you have 3 yellow sides like I have right here. So there's one right there, one right there, one right there. So this is called a parity problem. And you cannot just do the normal algorithm. So watch, if I try to do the normal algorithm, it's not going to solve it. So I still have the same problem. Okay, it doesn't matter which way I flip it. If I do my FRU, RUF, it's not going to fix it no matter what I do. Okay, I can do it this way. It looks kind of like the L, except it has that piece right there. It's not going to work on this. So what you have to do is, I guess you could pull out these two pieces right here and flip them around, or you're going to have to do the following algorithm, and this is called OLL Parity, orientation of the last layer, and it's a parity problem. So I'm going to show you the algorithm right now that you need to use to solve this. So it's R, and I move both these layers, R, U2, and then X. X means you're going to move the cube like this. So yellow used to be on top, now yellow is going to be in the back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you again. So here's yellow right here, here's my front face, and I'm going to rotate it like this. That's X. So I'm going to do R, U2 again, R, U2, R inverted, U2. Then I'm going to do L, this is L, and I'm going to use both layers. L is going to come like a normal L movement, like this, U2, R inverted, U2, R, U2, R inverted, U2, and then R inverted. And there's no easy way around this to get around this kind of parity problem. There's no easier algorithms out there. The one I was using before was actually more difficult. It had fronts and backs in it, so this is the best algorithm they have right now for this problem. I know it's kind of long, but that's the only thing you can really do. So it fixed our problem. It flipped whichever edge you have it on in the front. When you solve it, it's going to be the one that's going to be flipped. So it flipped the last edge, and I have my yellow cross. Now if you only had the L, you would hold it, I mean, if you only had like one of them solved, then you would hold it where any of the other sides, and you would flip that one, and then you could solve it normally just like you would for the yellow cross. So I have my yellow cross. Next step after I have my yellow cross is I need to go ahead and fix the edges. I'm going to do this the beginner style because that's the way that most people are solving the cube. So you can use the Friedrich method on this if you want, the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and solve my middle pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and move them around until I have two that are solved. And there's my two. There's my red, there's my blue, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same algorithm that I would normally use on a 3x3. And my edges are all solved. Now I'm going to find the corner pieces that are in the correct spot. Now on a normal 3x3, there's either one corner that's in the right spot or all four of them are in the right spot. We can have another problem on the 4x4 that we have only one of them in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't see any of them that are in the correct spot. So I'm going to go ahead and do my algorithm one time, get them in the correct spot, at least get one in the correct spot. And I still have none of them in the correct spot. So when you notice you're having a problem with the corners, you probably have something called PLL Parity. So it's permutation of the last layer parity. And you also need an algorithm to fix this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the algorithm for this. And when we're moving this, it's going to be this inside layer right here. We're going to do this one. We're only going to move this one. So I move both layers down, and I move it up like this to move it. So first it's going to be R2, and I'm moving this twice, so white's on top. U2, R2, U2. Oh, sorry, that last U2 was both layers. U2, and then R2, and then both layers U2, and so you put it back, and now you'll have one corner that's in the correct spot. Okay, and then you may have to go back and fix your edges now, because it kind of messed up the edges, so I have to go back and fix my edges. And now my edges are solved again, and my corners are fixed, so I can go ahead and solve for my corners.